Sorry, sir. No one's allowed.
Get the fuck out of my way, sailor.
The Expanse and Admiral Michael Souther, played by Martin Roach. Admiral Souther makes an appearance as a supporting actor in each of the first 3 seasons and a total of 8 episodes. Starting off as a UNN Fleet Admiral in charge of all UNN ships, eventually he steps down due to aggressive political posturing on Earth, becoming Admiral of the Jupiter Fleet. Before I do a breakdown of Souther's role in The Expanse, here's a very quick look at the actor, Martin Roach. Martin Roach is a born and bred Toronto man, his parents having emigrated from Africa to Canada, and Martin is 57 years old currently, born in 1962. Martin started his acting career somewhat later than most. His first foray into acting was appearing in Due South in 1996, which I remember watching as a young man. Undoubtedly though, he was acting on stage before that. And apart from his filmography, that's all I have on Martin Roach, the actor and background. Nothing else out there I could find on the internet. Martin's filmography is very extensive, and I would be here a long time if I covered it all or even half of it. Suffice to say, it's pretty impressive and spans 23 years. His speciality is voice acting, and has carved out a bit of a niche market for himself with his gravelly, deep voice. Martin has also been rather prolific in kids' cartoons, some examples being Inspector Gadget as Mr. Claw,
Sun-snuffing, Earth core destroying, black hole creating weapon system.
Yo in Yin Yang Yo,
You have been merely woo-foo knights in training. That ends today.
and Jake Justice in Rescue Heroes.
Rescue heroes!
Global Response Team.
Bridge out. That's not good. Unless you're in this, baby. I love this new car.
He also has a hand in a number of computer games, like Far Cry 5 as Pastor Jerome Jeffries,
If I am not their shepherd, then I must be the wolf.
to which he gave a short interview, something of a rarity for Martin online it seems.
He sees a great wrong and he wants to right it. That's an admirable quality in anybody, and I look up to that person who has the fortitude to be in that role, to step into that leadership role. Because I don't. Guns? No.
In screen acting, Martin has recently appeared in Designated Survivor,
At your command, sir. Do it. Engage.
Yes, sir.
Engage.
Fall in Water,
If Nicholas Hull was involved in trafficking and you guys know anything that can help, I suggest that you hand it over to the FBI. Then we can get back to doing what we do best here. Closing homicide cases.
Suits,
Fortunately, this body doesn't have the authority to swear you in, but I'm going to make sure that we will tomorrow. I'd like you to think long and hard about what you're going to say then, because you'll be saying it under oath.
The Other Kingdom, and also some kids' TV such as Odd Squad.
Make like those ice cubes and freeze!
Technically, they're no longer cubes, and now they've melted. For I am Vladam, destroyer of cubes.
In movies, Martin is best known for The Christmas Chronicles,
Sorry you missed it, Dave.
Cube Zero, and The Shape of Water. In The Expanse, Martin Roach's character is a straight up and down no-nonsense admiral.
A lot I don't understand about this war, but even in low G, shit still rolls downhill.
His Navy service and personal conviction to always do what's right defines his character and his ideals of honour and truth. This conviction eventually leads into conflict and his death. Despite this, his Fleet Admiral position would imply that he must be able to deal with Earth politics to some degree, with all the backstabbing and shady deals that come with it. Souther's service clearly makes a positive mark on those around him, both in the Navy and in politics, and we see this with fellow shipmates on the Agatha King in Season 3.
The commanders you trained, they're loyal to you. If you were to make a move.
In Season 4, Avasarala's anecdote at the Mars dinner references a quote apparently that Souther made, although we never hear it from him in the show.
My dear friend, Admiral Michael Souther once said, "The war does not end when people put down their guns. It ends when they reconcile. Until then, the war has only paused."
And Avasarala admits to Bobby that she wasn't even sure that he'd said it.
Did Admiral Souther really say any of that?
I don't know, we rarely spoke.
In the first episode he appears in, Souther stands up for restraint and to curb Avasarala's bravado to redeploy the UNN fleet in a move that would appear provocative. Later on, at an intelligence briefing, Souther hears the thinking behind the stealth composites being found couriered by Alberta, and later shares intelligence and long-distance imagery of the Donnager's battle with the stealth ships. Again, Souther urges restraint and opposes the order for a UNN vessel to board Tycho Station. At this point, Souther is unaware that Ehrenreich is already engineering matters to divert attention from his dealings with Jules Pierre Mao and placing blame elsewhere, this on top of an arranged meeting with Mao at the UN. Heading into Season 2 is where things for Souther really heat up, and aggressive posturing by Ehrenreich and Wynne, plus the tit-for-tat strikes on Phoebe and Demos, put Souther's position head-on against Ehrenreich. It was only a bluff and a lie by Avasarala which probably averted a full-on engagement between Earth and Mars.
I didn't know we shared Captain Yevgeny as a friend.
An exceptional man.
Yes. Who never went to the academy.
Something which Souther was going out of his way to avoid, unless it was for a worthy, make that real threat. Souther's tantrum, as Avasarala calls it later, is what forced him to step down.
I stepped down as fleet commander.
Or you could say forced out. Anyway, Souther was out of overall fleet command. Maybe he could go back to advertising for Sunkist with an orange in his bush. Now this next scene is one of my favourites of the second season, and my favourite of Souther's.
Big chessboard, a snake in a sari.
With dead eyes and a poisoned tongue. And the solar system is in tatters because of people like you and Ehrenreich. Despite your delusions to the contrary, you, Madame Undersecretary, may be the worst person I have ever met.
Feel good getting that out of your system?
Well, that was the plan, wasn't it?
From my point of view, it seems respect is more afforded from Avasarala to Souther than the other way round. Regardless of this, both actors were excellent in this bar scene. Great TV. Now I haven't read the books yet, for a very good reason, and it's not clear to me at this point if Wynne was working with Ehrenreich yet, although Wynne's attitude at the briefing table maybe suggests he was. It's then a whole 14 episodes until we see Souther again. This time he's an admiral in charge of the Jupiter fleet, a fleet soon to be involved directly in the proto-molecule conspiracy. I thought the Agatha King scenes were some of the best of Season 3, this in a season where class exudes overall. It also helped that they could reuse the set for later in the season for the Thomas Prince. Admiral Souther clearly inspired loyalty amongst those he served, and a loyalty not won through over-familiarity or otherwise. It's this close bond which gave Souther the opportunity to find for himself the truth of Wynne's dealings with Ehrenreich and to corroborate Ghazi's account. All this attracts attention from Admiral Wen and forces his hand to first relieve him of command, and then in an attempt to relieve him of duty and to restrict him to quarters.
You're relieved of duty and can find your quarters. Try anything else and I will have you in irons.
The approach of the Hammurabi and refusal to fire gives Wynne a chance to launch everything they've got, at which point Souther, ever a man to do the right thing, makes his move.
Weapons, prepare all tubes. We're gonna give them everything we've got.
Belay that order.
Hold it! Hey, freeze! Don't fucking move!
In accordance with the military code of justice, I am relieving you of command.
This is mutiny!
The move which cost him the ultimate price.
I'll be transmitting proof to both fleets. I'm ordering all UNN ships to take any actions necessary if the agony is difficult.
Well, that about wraps it up for Admiral Souther. I think I shall now retire and have myself an Admiral Souther cocktail.
Change course immediately or I will fire!